Mike, we are live. Good morning.
What's happening, Christian?
Well, no, not much, man. Not much at all. It's always a pleasure. Welcome to another episode of Live from the Secret Stash. I'm Christian Cortez, joined as always by
Michael Zapsik and
Julia Zapsik.
There we go. How you guys doing?
I don't know, Christian. What do you? I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
We're still recovering, but it was last week was phenomenal week. Just so much fun. And I want to, thank our friends from the 501st Northeast Remnant for coming down. And Christian and I got some really cool,
some epic swag,
some swag from them, a challenge coin. But Brian, Mike, oh my God, I can't remember all your names, but you know who you are, and you were here. We had a dozen members wandering the streets of Red Bank and almost causing a couple of car accidents, which is awesome. That to me is like, did you hear the casualty report from the 501st visit? And it's like, no, how many people died? That's awesome. So,
I saw a couple of pictures posted in #RedBank on Instagram. That was really cool to see that. And then I saw some posts that you guys had made from the day because I ended up having to leave because I had work.
Right. And unfortunately, we weren't able to follow up on that. So I just want to thank them so much for being here for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because right after that, we had to switch gears and right off the heels of that
weekend.
Right into our 25th anniversary, the silver anniversary Stash Bash, which, again, 2 days, phenomenal. I didn't hear any the weather, which we have no control over, folks. No matter what people tell you, I can't control the weather.
Yeah, Mike's not the weather wizard.
I am not.
He's not. No. But regardless of weather, regardless of that event went amazing. You guys put together something truly wonderful.
Thank you. You were part of it, buddy. Don't. I have a fantastic crew behind me.
Listen, they reached out. You guys reached out to me and had me shoot miscellaneous B-roll around here during that event. And
which we still have to review.
It's let me tell you something though. So part of what I was doing was asking certain fans like what this store meant to them and what it truly meant to be a part of. And when I tell you that there were a few of them that started to make me well up, and I don't even work here really, I was like, this is amazing. Like it's such a wonderful community of fans who came out and supported the event. So I can't wait to put that together and show you guys. You're gonna love it.
Kevin has the best fans in the world.
He really does. So thank you everybody who came out, made that event as wonderful as it was.
And a shout out to all the cast too. And yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, well, I can hear you.
Good. Yes, I am still half asleep.
I think we're all still zombies.
We're all still half asleep. But it was first of all, the entire cast, everyone who participated was just incredible. Some of several of them I'd met for the first time. Just a gracious, warm, and engaging bunch, and who all really enjoyed being here. And they couldn't say enough how much they enjoyed meeting everybody and all the fans, and how good it felt to be here. And as always, Kevin and Jay really set the tone for everybody. And Kevin did his typical phenomenal job as the master of ceremonies. And I actually had someone call me yesterday who hadn't had a chance to meet him before or really see, one of these stash events before. And they said, I can see why the View Askewniverse is so loyal, because he has that kind of charisma where he makes you feel like you are the only person in that room. Like there could be 500 people milling about, but when you're standing next to him, you're the only person in the world that seems to matter. And that's a gift. And he definitely brought it, high energy both days and
big time. And it's not even it is charisma, but it is also like a real genuine love for his fans.
No doubt.
That there was one particular character that came in during the weekend. He had actually came down just for casual comic book day, he coming in to just talk, and he didn't know the event was going on. And when he got to meet Kevin and everybody, he was shaking. He was that excited. But then you realize he was going through a lot and how much it actually had meant to him. And Kev took the time to talk to him for a minute and be like, it's good, man. And that's what I love about that world and Kev and everybody of you Ski Related is that you guys are genuinely like nice people who I'm honored to know. So I'm sorry if it's all sappy and bullshit, but like I was just like yeah, that's truly who they are.
That's the goal. You know what? It was nice too seeing and I haven't had a chance to do as much as I would like to, kind of digging in. I don't spend a ton of time at one time on social media either. So I'm kind of a drive-by social media personally user. I'll like jump in
Keep
5 minutes and then I'm gone.
That is literally the best way to do it.
But I did spend some time looking through some of the posts and everything because it was really nice. And what I really loved was all the people that have known each other online and got together in person. And just how delighted they were to finally meet
their people,
and hang out with them.
My tribesmen.
And I was like, in a world that's so full of such, to have like a moment in time where you spent 48 hours just like bonding and being able to do that. I dug it. It was awesome.
There are like 30 people who got pregnant this weekend. So it's 15
they're going to be a lot of little
Kevins
J's and silent
15
Bobs
Kevins, 15 J's running around.
Oh, God.
And I just wanted to say one thing to the people that there are people who came and they're like, they wanted to hang for a couple of seconds. And unfortunately, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off because, a
lot was going on.
Yeah, we had so many spinning plates. And all these people were like, hey, getting in touch with me on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, look, I want you all to know that I love you and I wish that I could have spent more time with you. But like I said, there were fires that I had to put out, make sure it never started. And, but
this is a lot. And there's, I think everybody everybody could kind of see how hard everyone was working. There are a lot of moving parts, but the good news is, except for the rain, which we couldn't control, and the wind.
Again, not my call. Didn't do it.
I think most everything else, like anything that kind of we had to fix or like tweak along the way, was sort of invisible to most of the folks here. It was just sort of like us running around.
It kind of was, but the first day we started out a little bit slow, but we
picked up.
We started out with the model of this being one way, where we were it was just going to be like a conga line of people taking pictures and then they could come back in and shop. But Kevin being Kevin, he's like, no, we're going to spend time with each and every person. It took us, it was like a stutter step. So it was like, okay, so we're not going to do that. Let's do,
it was fine though.
We're going to go back to the old way. And everybody, it took us like 2 sessions to catch up, but we did. And
it was like a dance.
Everything was like smooth.
Yeah.
And it is. It's like the waltz.
You actually did have it right. It's either between a waltz or a conga line, because it's like take a picture.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, get the hell out. And,
it's because you're trying to manage, right? It's like you want to do right, so it's like, okay, we want people to to not have to wait a long time, but then you realize that no, part of the experience is having that personal time, and and so it's like, well, then everyone's gonna have to wait a little longer because that's the way it goes.
We're walking tightrope's because I'm trying to manage a business and manage people's expectations, and I'm like, holy crap! All right, well, and damn, I'm gonna screw this up somehow, but turns out I didn't, and well, not for most people, but everybody that I heard from had a great time. And I hope that I'm just going to shout some people out because I love you. Beth Longo, you were great this weekend.
Big time.
We had Scott Hoverman was here. I would have loved to have hung out with Scott more.
I know. Last night I'm going to sleep and I'm like, why didn't we just stop and have lunch? But we were like so in the zone.
We didn't have time for lunch.
There was no time for
lunch. We didn't even have breaks. I would send people out to go grab food and I forgot to eat myself. I'm like, why am I so damn hungry? It's 9 p.m. And I'm like, oh, because I didn't have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Gotcha. Okay.
And then you wake up the following day. Oh, that's why it hurts so much.
Oh, my belly. Chris McDonald, who did an amazing.
Yep.
And Chrissy Wiseman.
Chrissy Wiseman. You guys are amazing. Levi Patterson.
Gavin.
Gavin Appy Morgan. And
we're gonna start missing people.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna miss
Shannon,
people. Be like, "Fuck you." And I'm like,
Danielle,
"All right, yeah, there you go."
I know.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many people who came out, and these are the core View Askew folks. Adam Kaufman, who I have not seen in literally 10 years. He used to post on the old board as Silent Boba Fett. So, which is a great name, but
it's a great username.
Yes. I saw him and I'm like, oh my God. And I actually started to well up. I'm like, I
haven't
missed
seen
him.
you.
I haven't seen you in 10 years. He went out, he got married, had a kid. And I'm like, holy crap. And not only that, not only the fans, okay? And everyone who I didn't mention, I love you too. It's just that there's so many. I don't have a list in front of me. I mean, I could use this thing, but I don't have a list in front of me. But you know who you are.
Yeah. The people who mean the world to us,
yes.
and we're glad we saw you.
And absolutely. But this is the first time I'd ever gotten a chance to spend time with Jeff Anderson and Trevor Furman, because I met Jeff and Trevor for the first time when we were filming Clerks 3, and I spent, I think, like 5 minutes with them both. And Jeff is just a genuinely
cool dude.
Absolutely. And I mean, there are people who are like, he's just like Randall, just a little bit. He's just that much nicer. I'm like,
he was making a great joke during the Q&A. All it takes for him to turn into Randall is to turn his hat backwards and put in a stick of gum.
Yeah.
And he did it at the Q&A, and it was and it was the funniest thing in the world, because I was like, holy shit, that's all it takes.
And he's genuinely a funny guy.
Oh yeah.
And genuinely a warm human being, which is weird.
Because it's not like Randall.
No.
Yeah, no.
Not like the person it was based on. So yeah, it's like, wow, that's amazing.
So here's what's really funny though. I had not had an interaction really with Jeff either. I had met him briefly because I it's out there, but I had made a cameo in Clerks 3. So I was taking a break in the pew, because where we're recording in the Secret Stash, we're right next to the Bluntmobile. I was hanging out in the pew, and then Jeff walks up to me and is like, "Oh, so what you doing here?" And it just took me a second to process. Holy shit! I'm having a conversation with like one of my favorite actors. This is amazing. So, and it just as genuinely cool as you think he would be, and very nice. So, freaking. Oh, it was an amazing weekend. Sorry.
And Trevor, I had to pick up, like I said,
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
You tried to get him. You tried to dump him off in the.
Yeah, it was really funny
because
that night, that Wednesday night,
Trevor's terrifying ride back from the airport.
I picked him up at the airport, and he's telling me, and now I still have a million things that I've got to get done before Friday, before Friday night, before we can leave. And a lot of stuff, they get a lot of stuff signed. I have to figure out how to get this person from point A to point B. I have to do this. I have to do that. So I'm up. I pick up Trevor, and
11:30 at night.
11:30 at night. I'm fucking exhausted.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, my eyes are wide because I just drank like 3 big fucking cups of coffee. And I'm looking for a bathroom, and I'm like, I'll just piss myself. It's fine. So he calls me. He's like, I'm right here. Man. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, Trevor? So we get in the car, and he's telling me when he can sign, when, I'll be able to sign. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, oh, shit. This is going to completely fuck up the schedule, because I got to get this
Thanks a lot, Trevor.
I'm like, thanks a lot, Trevor, you motherfucker. And I miss our turnoff, because they're always working on
the turnpike.
Always working, especially right there at Newark. They're always,
doing something.
Detour. And I missed our detour. So I'm like, where the fuck? So I'm like, 15E? What the fuck is this? So I'm driving around, and I'm up in Secaucus. I'm like, holy shit, because I had to get off at 15E. And I'm driving, and Trevor's like, oh, this looks very nice. I'm like over there.
The industrial area of Secaucus, New York.
No, we're in the swamplands. And I'm like, well, yeah, this is where the mob usually drops off bodies.
Right, where the body dumping section of
exactly.
New Jersey.
This isn't a swamp. This is actually an unmarked cemetery.
Exactly. And he's like, why would you do this? There's so much traffic. I said, why not do it out in the open where people are like, nah, that can't be some guy dumping a body out there. Nah,
that can't be
no
right.
way.
No one would do that.
Trevor's got this kind of sense of humor that's fucking like next level.
Oh
like
my
you literally
God.
have. I mean, you mean with him, you can't just have like a casual. Like you have to pay attention because if you're not paying attention, you fucking miss the whole
You're gonna
thing.
miss.
Yeah, and then you're just gonna be sitting there catching flies in your mouth.
So I'm driving,
Yeah.
and he says, I feel like I'm being threatened. I said, and I said, Trevor, I don't threaten. I'm just showing you what could happen if
God,
you get a little bit out of line. So
That's
we
fucking
finally
great.
get back on, and we drive by Newark Airport again. He's like, "Is that the airport I just came into?" I'm like, "Shut up and
Just relax.
yeah, just
Close your eyes.
He kept
be
making-
cool, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Be cool."
He kept making this reoccurring Orson Welles joke over the weekend that that kept having me in stitches. Because the second night, the way that I had set up the audio, I was off to the stage, and it felt so funny because I was like, I have the best seat in the house, but then I'm also like, oh my God, every time they're making these stupid jokes, I'm like having to cover my face so I'm not looking like a goon laughing at like every single silly thing. But
by the way, just want to say, excellent job. I got a lot of great feedback about the clip that you did to put together to entertain the folks when they were sitting down. Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I didn't make. Okay, thank you. I guess I mean, Kevin made the movies. I just put the clip show together.
So nicely, right? It was a nice flow.
You know what? So anyway, that was this part of the equation. This part of the equation is the meet and greet where they take the picture and everything. This is their first taste of what they're in for.
Mm-hmm.
So they come in and they spend their hour and they have a great time and yada yada yada. And this is where I'm sweating bullets. And so I leave it to you and Dr. Josh Roush for the second part, which I'm also responsible for, just in a more ethereal way, that I'm responsible for that if it's fucked up, I'm the one who gets blamed. So it's like, all right, so you fucked that up, but you're the man that I trusted. I'm like, Josh Roush is in theater 1, you're in theater 2.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I getting for this? My man Christian. So boom,
Mm-hmm.
to just do all the hard technical stuff that I know nothing about. And this is where management is like, well, you trust in your people. That's the key to being a good manager, is having someone you can depend on and then trusting them to do the right thing, which boom. And I got a call from you at 6:30 on Sunday morning because there was a
little bit of feedback.
Feedback on one of the microphones, and not even, it was just
Christian's like, I'm driving over now. I'm going to hardwire these motherfuckers so that we don't get that feedback again.
So Kevin comes in and I ask him, I said, was there any major difficulties? He's like, no, there was a crackle, I think, maybe. He's like, and if I worry about shit like that, I'm going to drive myself insane. I said, because Christian's over there ripping fucking copper wire out of the walls right now and redoing everything. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, I think so. And I hope you had breakfast.
Did I?
I hope you did. So
I know he has to think about that.
No, I really do, because the first with these events, it's because I care so much, not just about you guys, but just for the people.
In fact, you not at all.
No,
actually,
of course, but like
you guys suck.
Well,
so yeah.
God damn it! I always take
I want to
pride.
impress Kevin. Fuck you.
I take pride in my work.
Of course you do.
When I hear that stuff like that happens, I'm like, fuck, because it's like I don't want that to be a reflection of you guys.
It's not a reflection of me. It's
so
not a reflection of you because you're using somebody else's equipment. And even that, it's just a matter of somebody, they probably put their phone too close to the microphone, and that's why you had a loop. And, you know.
But then the second night went so swimmingly. I had hands on. Everything was hard. You
rewired everything.
Oh yeah, you have no idea.
I do. Yeah, satellite feed out of there. You're bouncing off of UN satellites.
But it was awesome. It was really such a fun time.
And for those of you guys who couldn't make it because there were
things happen.
Saturday. I mean, we knew Sunday was lighter. We knew it would be because of Mother's Day. Saturday. It was so packed. We literally had people pulling shit off of the top of things to pay for it as they were coming through the line because it was so crowded. They were worried that they wouldn't get a chance to come back around. It was nuts, but it was fun. But for everyone who couldn't make it, and we know that because of the timing of it, because of, we literally chose the weekend just because in order to get that many members of the Clerks cast together, between cons and other obligations, it's pretty much like was our one shot.
It was our one weekend to get them all together.
We understand because it fell on Mother's Day that wasn't ideal, but we were just doing the best we can.
It's the one shot.
Given the opportunities that we had and what we had to try and figure out. But
seize everything.
But we know that work obligations, having to travel, a lot of reasons why everyone who wanted to come, couldn't come. Maybe it was a better thing because I don't know how we would have handled it.
Oh my God, that would have been so insane. But
there will be other opportunities to come to the stash and have events. So never fear. And
there will always be.
I want to address one thing, and somebody brought this up. They're like, and it was expensive, and that's the elephant in the room. And Kevin hit it head on, and so am I. Here's the thing, folks. You got 10 people to be in your photo op, plus you got a show on top of that. Plus you got to get signed stuff.
Yeah.
So if you go to a con and you do that, plus a swag bag, which is easily worth at least half, if not 3/4 of your price of admission.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's no doubt.
That you got unicorn autographs.
You got, yes, it's insane. It's all relative because if you go to a con and you get 10 autographs from the clerks, and again, you said it perfectly, Christian, unicorn signatures, a picture with them, right there, that is $300. I know because I priced it out. So that, just the picture alone, $300. Signatures, probably going to cost you another $200. The swag bag, $175 easily, plus a ticket to go see a live Q&A with 10 of the Clerks actors, actually 9 plus Kevin emceeing.
And then a picture with everyone.
I already included the.
I know, but I'm double stressing with a picture with everyone.
So
that's insane.
You're looking at like 6 easily. That's conservative. $600 right there. So anybody who was like, these guys took advantage. No, we really didn't. Plus, there was.
No, I don't. You know what? Listen.
I'm just saying.
And full disclosure, I grew up in a trailer park. Okay. So no, seriously, it's true. So I'm saying that I feel for the people that wanted to be here, even though I think that absolutely no doubt about it, the value for what we, in fact, we were struggling, with, how to come up with the right price point because we were offering so much value. We couldn't ask people to pay as much as it was really quote unquote worth. Mm-hmm. But, no doubt, total respect for folks who are, having to juggle things, and it just wasn't the right event for, in that price point. But, so anyway, but there will be other opportunities to come here and hang out with us. We appreciate everybody who came and supported us. And a nice little segue. Do you mind if I make a little segue?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
We know that everyone wasn't able to make it for whatever reason. And so we are going to, we made a decision. We are going to put some of the merchandise, celebration merchandise up for sale for folks. So there will be a limited number of swag bags, the full swag bags with 2 posters.
Signed posters.
One signed poster.
One signed poster, yeah. And one, actually, do you mind grabbing? Actually, no, you keep going, because I'm going to go grab that. I wanted to show off Chris McDonald's art.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you can take, you can grab a swag bag and shelf everything. So we'll be doing some packages of the complete swag bags, but Kevin came up with a great idea. There's one, what is it, like 11 by 18, I think, or 12 by 18, big group photo in front of the Quick Stop sign, that cast member sign, that'll be for sale. You can buy a t-shirt now. I put the t-shirts up, that's for sale. Mm-hmm. And then there'll be an opportunity to buy a bag and stuff like that. So if you didn't get a chance to participate, and you were kind of like, and because we had a lot of people asking about the swag, is like, can we buy just the swag? And we honestly,
you can now, but it's just for a limited time only.
Yeah, and we had to wait, and until the event was over too, because we had to then see what we could sell, what we had left sell. So we do have some of that stuff, and just continue to follow us on social media. We'll be letting people know when it goes up and it's available for sale. But
I just only because the name was brought up.
Oh my God, I have to
give a special fucking shout out to my new buddy Chris McDonald, who drew this amazing piece of artwork for me. I can't tell you how much I love this thing.
Isn't that like out fucking outrageous?
So,
I love it.
But for for my friends who know, but not most public people know, is I am a huge Ghostbusters fan. I might have to beg you guys to do some sort of Ghostbusters related event in the future. But like,
be convinced.
But like, I am obsessed with that franchise. And when Chris handed me this drawing, I was giggling from how much
wasn't it nice to get it right from him?
Because you watched him hand it to me, and it was like, oh my god, I love it so much. So shout out to the amazing Chris McDonald, because he drew this, but also some of the amazing art that you guys were giving away at the steps as part of the swag bag. And this was it.
That's signed. That's going to be a special.
This is going to be separate,
but your swag bags. Anybody buying a swag bag won't get a signed version of it. But
oh man, it's so good.
This is in the style of Animal House. I actually had him and Chrissy Wiseman do that. In the swag bag, you'll also get one of these lanyards.
That's a Smodcastle.
I'm sorry, you'll not
Shout
get one
out
of
to
these.
Smodcastle. We love Smodcastle.
How the hell did I grab this one? There's like 8,000 goddamn lanyards back there, and I grabbed the one that's not. I'm like, son of a
hey, that's
bitch.
my job.
There you go. You can have that one. Thank you. Look at this.
Oh man.
I'm like, wow, I don't remember giving out black lanyards.
I don't even have one of these, and I work there.
I know. This is the T-shirt. I assure you, we've been open for 25 years, and then it's on the back is like, what's the lowdown?
Are you guys selling the I assure you shirt?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can buy that online right now.
Here you go. This is our actual bag, and it's beautiful. It's made of recycled materials. Even though that's not the selling point, it's a beautiful bag. Feels fantastic. Feel that, Christian?
Oh, it's so nice.
This is a gorgeous bag.
Oh, it's so dope.
I happen to like the fact that we're being environmentally friendly. So
I do.
Yeah.
And the Captain Ribman poster, which is signed by everybody.
Yep.
You know,
it's wonderful.
I mean, like we said, there are some unicorns on here. There's some narwhals. To be honest with you, Johnny William, which you can get if you come here, but Scott Schiaffo and Ernie O'Donnell, Jennifer Schwalbach.
Don't
Anderson's
make it weird.
Really
Bill.
Tough. I'm sorry, people are making it weird.
Bill's like, feel his bag, Christian.
Yeah,
I'm like, shut up, Bill.
Yeah, easy there, Bill. Thanks a lot, Bill.
This is amazing. But
it's amazing, right?
I love all the stuff that came out. My personal favorite element on this poster is Josh.
Josh's
is so cool.
I know. I had to get Josh on there. That was fantastic.
Awesome. Oh man.
Actually, I almost forgot Josh. Kevin's like, Josh on there. I'm like,
he
will be.
He will be.
And my favorite is all the people who passed. So,
but my favorite little detail of that section is Scott Mosher's character looking up, going, "That's beautiful, man," because it is beautiful, man.
So that's what you missed out that's what you get.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you, Jay.
I want to answer Daniel's question before it gets lost in the thread here.
I'm sorry, what the hell
but Daniel Major, he saw the Instagram post about the couple that was in yesterday.
Yes,
and was up here.
Yeah. No, we were going to talk about them anyway.
Yeah, so. I know. So I'm just going to address that right now before, like I said, it gets lost down there. So this couple comes up. They were in the area. They're from North Carolina. They were camping. And I guess they weren't right around the corner, but they were close enough that they were like, you know what? It's a bucket list item for us. Let's just go ahead and keep driving and get up there and see them at the stash. So they came in, nice as pie, walked around. We talked a little bit. They got to see everything. They picked up some swag for themselves, mementos. And before they left, I hear Michael and them talking, and I wasn't really paying attention because I was doing some other work on the side. And they leave, and Michael's like, oh my gosh, they just made a donation for us to buy comic books for kids. And it was just like such a random, unexpected kindness. It was, it blew our minds a little bit. So thank you. And we've had a couple people reach out to us because we posted about it because it's an awesome thing. We wanted to acknowledge that. But so, you know what? It took us by surprise. I think when Michael and I were talking about it afterwards, we thought, wouldn't it be nice to partner with a local organization so that maybe we could make it part of a program or something to have even more impact. We could help them curate some nice, some books. Maybe there's a theme we can help celebrate. So we're working on that. So we don't have a program per se that you could donate to, but we might. I mean, this might be the reason that it starts, and if it does, we'll absolutely let you know. Yep.
And we reached out to a couple of people, and I read online somebody said that, especially on Facebook, that they wanted to reach out to more people, but they were a little introverted and they didn't really feel like they could. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Now we're going to try to get that going where you can. You go to a stash event, and there are going to be people out there who are going to come up to you and be like, "Hey, how you doing? Who the hell are you?" Not like that, but like, "Hi, I'm Mike. What's going on? Is this your first View Askew event? No. How many have you been to? I don't recognize you. Oh, that's so cool. Have you ever met Kevin before?" And just like start to engage them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to be awesome too.
So I also work at the Smod Castle, right? We're actually going to be doing some programs that actually kind of elevate that idea too. So that stuff that can't be discussed yet, but once I get word that we can, you guys will be the first to know.
Oh, great! It's just something that we came. I was like, holy crap! But it's going to be implemented by people who aren't me. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably for the best. So it's good.
So should we hop into news and stuff like that?
Let's do news, and then we'll do top 5. We
should start with the obvious.
Yeah, this came out on Saturday. Someone came up to me
in the middle of the event.
In the middle of the event, and Julie and I also had a familial loss. We, our sister-in-law, Donalyn Giegrick Zapsik, passed away. We found out, and my brother Tom's wife, and just like a gut punch. So I walked in and
Saturday morning.
Yes, it's Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And so we had to
deal with that.
With it, but we, when you're busy, it helps because you got something to do. So we're powering through that, and around, what was it, 1 or 2, honey?
I think probably about 1 or 2.
1 or 2 o'clock, somebody comes up to me and says, "Did you hear George Perez died?" And I'm like, motherfucker. I said, okay, this is so it's a 1-2 gut punch.
Yeah.
And George was the most amazing person, not just the most amazing artist, but he was literally. Can I send you something?
Yes.
Thank you. He was literally the nicest man in show business.
And we're going to talk about George, but I also just I want to take a step back too and acknowledge Donalyn again. So for those of you who are out there asking yourself like a question, like, should I do this? Do I take a risk? She was a cancer survivor, and she knew she was, emotionally and just spiritually rigged to be an optimist and to seize the day, like for real. And she was an inspiration to a lot of people. So as long as it's not going to mean that you don't have food on your table or a roof over your head, if you're asking yourself, should I, and your gut's telling you want to, you probably should just go for it.
Yeah. She was a very, very much a live, love, and learn type of person. Okay. Don't push anything, off till tomorrow because you're not guaranteed. Yes, exactly. And I find that to be very inspirational. So I think it's really, really cool. And my sister-in-law she was loved. And
that's why I was like, with all the chaos that was going on, that's why I was especially like trying to make sure that you and Jules were good. Like, I hope I wasn't annoying with that.
No, you were absolutely not. I appreciate that. And we had to tell people, Kevin found it. He's like, look, if you have to leave, I'm like, are you out of your mind? We're not leaving because No, we're not leaving. This is too important.
We started it. We're finishing this bitch.
Exactly. And there's nothing I could do anyway. So it
Yeah.
was just one of those things that
it is what it was.
Yeah, it was what it was. And we'll celebrate her life. And I think that's the most important things. Rather than mourning her death, I celebrate her life, or we celebrate her life. She was an inspiration to a lot of people here in Monmouth County, a lot of people, in her network.
Mm-hmm.
And she will be missed. But if her life had any meaning, it's, seize the day. Don't put off tomorrow. Do it now. And that's when I found out that George had passed. I felt the same way. It felt like he was a part of my family.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had a couple of interactions with him, and they've all been phenomenal. Not the least of which was on Comic Book Men, but I had met him years before at Wizard World Chicago in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing sketches for people, and I was online, and we found out that he was working for CrossGen. CrossGen was picking up the tab for each and every one of those drawings. I'm like, holy crap. And because I was getting ready to pay like $100, and we had budgeted for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out that we didn't have to. So George been there. He'd been doing it for 4 freaking hours. And he's like, I got to take a break soon. And he's like, he looked back at the line. He's like, well, not going to get that. So, and didn't we grab him? We grabbed him like 2 oranges and a banana.
You did. Yeah. You were like,
I'm like, oh my God, we got to get him. We got to get him.
Got to get him some food, man. Get something in his system.
Because he was diabetic. And I'm like, yeah, let's get him some food for God's sakes. And we got him a couple of oranges. I hope he was able to do that and use like his orange fingers when he was peeling it to maybe
I want
put
some accents in the drawing.
Here we go. A little bit of the thing action going.
A little bit of some peel there.
And you might have already said this, but he was so delighted with your choice.
Yes.
Do you have it? I'll
actually, it's up front if you want to go grab it. Yeah.
Because not many people asked.
Nobody asked him. And this was when, so I was trying to think, and you're online, you're second guessing yourself like, oh my God, who do I want to get? And I mean, you get Superman, it's just a dude with a spit curl. You get Batman, he's done Batman to death.
Yeah.
Iron Man, millions of times. Spider-Man, he's done. And I'm like, oh my God, who am I going to get him to do? Who? Nightwing? Nightwing's just a guy and I was like, that would be cool. But then I went to a guy who he never gets asked for. And this is Yellow Jacket. This is Hank Pym.
Word.
He is most famous for smacking his wife around. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so horrible. They had the downfall. Jim Shooter did an entire script in the Avengers where Hank pushed his wife away. But in the script, the guy who was penciling it, I think it was Bob Hall, was penciling it. Mm-hmm. He made it a smack instead of a push. Oh. And that was like, oh. So now
Marvel went there.
Yeah, Marvel went there, and then came the he's a wife beater and the whole 9 yards, and then Mark Miller took that to an extreme in the Ultimates, which was god awful.
What an awesome piece!
But this is beautiful. So I met him in 2001, and this has been in 2 iterations of the Stash. And I absolutely adore this piece, but
there was another thing that I have loaded in. I'll pull up.
This is what George had drawn for me after I lost my comic books in Sandy.
That's the story behind that?
Yes, that's what happened with that. Comic Book Men, the guys wanted to do something nice for me. Well, this is the story. Guys wanted to do something nice for me because I lost stuff in Sandy. And they had George come and do this. So this is Wonder Man,
and he presented it to you on the show, right?
He did, yes. Yeah. And he also gifted to the Stash his shirt because
Lamb Chop.
Yes,
the Lamb Chop shirt that we have.
His wife made him Hawaiian shirts for when he went to cons, so he would wear them at cons. Mm-hmm. And this was one of his favorites. The Lamb Chop was, Sherry Lewis. Lamb
Sherry
Chop.
Lewis is badass.
Yeah, and So that it was one of his favorites, but he was going to retire it, and he gave it to us. And he used to hang in the rafters at the old stash, but this time around,
you got it in a nice case.
I put it in a shadow box, and so it's right behind the front counter.
Wow.
And when I heard about that, he was legend's too small a word for him. He was the fucking man. So George Perez, I don't think you could put that on his tombstone. I personally would. If it were up to me and they said, what should we put on there? Why not put, he was the fucking man. So that's George. God bless you. And my condolences to Carol. She is also such a genuinely lovely woman. Such a perfect compliment to him.
And his legacy will forever live on. Everything that he did to help other comic book artists. We've somehow brought it up on almost every episode of this show because that's how important it is.
Yes. Oh, that they're freelancers and they need to be recognized as actually not just work for hire, but people who are, they should be getting benefits.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So let's shout out the cause. So
it is Hero Initiative. Jim McLaughlin's Hero Initiative, and it was one of George helped found it. It was one of his favorite charitable organizations, and he put 100% of his his heart behind it. So, and I know that he donated a ton of stuff to it. And DC Comics and Hero Initiative reprinted the JLA Avengers not too long ago. They only made 7,000 of them. And we got ours in. I sold one to a gentleman who had never read it, always wanted to read it. He was in boot camp. His father came in and told me that story. I'm like, this guy's serving our country. Yeah. We're giving one to him. We put one online and we gave over $1,200 to the Hero Initiative on that. And if we didn't match it, we're going to. So
no, we did. Yeah, we already
beautiful.
Did that. I took care of that. I'm gonna go take care of some stuff. I know you guys have some stuff to finish up, the top 5 and everything.
No problem. So rest in peace, George. I'm sorry I never got to meet you, man, but your legacy speaks for itself. Friggin', I hope to make something half as cool as what you were a part of. Man, I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that story. I had no idea. All right. So we want to do weekly comic book picks?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm going to tell you the top 5, and we're gonna zoom through these because I got to open the store.
You got a little. I got time. Got to break some stuff down.
Gotcha.
All right, let's do it.
Jurassic League number 1. This is What If
the
Jurassic League number 1. What if the Justice League were dinosaurs, which is really, really friggin' cool.
I love everything about that.
I'm telling you.
That's amazing.
Supersaurus? Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
What if number 3? What if Miles Morales became the Hulk? What if he did? How cool is that? We saw him become Captain America. Did we see him? We've seen him become Captain America. We've seen him become Wolverine. Now we're going to find out what happens when he becomes the Hulk. Okay, this is very cool. It's Thor and Hulk, the Banner of War. See what they did there? Banner of War.
I can dig it. Right? I can dig it.
I'm going to put these down because they have no place here. West of Sundown.
Ooh, I like that name.
This is number 2. West of Sundown is an awesome comic. It's from, it's from Vault. And I had recommended number 1. This is number 2, and this is pretty damn amazing.
That artwork
just the cover.
I know, but it looks like a Grindhouse movie poster.
Of course, that's what they're going for. That's what Vault does.
That is beautiful.
It is, and the story, exceptional.
8
billion genies. So the premise, everybody on Earth, and this is by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. The premise of this, everybody on Earth gets their own genie with one wish.
Is it
How could anything go wrong with that?
now? Is that like an anthology book where every story is different, or is
No, it's one of 8, but this is 8 minutes after the genie occurs. Next is gonna be 8 hours. Then it's gonna be 8 days, 8 weeks, and then
8 months, 8 years.
Yeah, then we'll see what happens.
So
I want to thank everybody for coming by this weekend, helping us celebrate 25 years of Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. This place wouldn't exist without you people. So I just want you to remember that. We're here because you're out there coming to see us and buy your comics from us, buy your Jay and Silent Bob merch, just coming in and hanging out. And we love you.
Yeah, big time. Even doing this show in the morning with you is just it's a wonderful excuse to come here. Like I love this spot.
Hell yeah.
And I've loved it since the original location. I've loved it here. Loved it more here because I got to see it actually come together.
No, you weren't at the original location.
No, I mean
the secondary location.
The secondary original location. Okay. I had only actually seen it for the first time when we did that video for Instagram.
Yep.
That was the first time I'd actually seen that.
Yep.
Well, what that spot is now. And
I think I called it 69 Broad Street. It was 69 Mama Street.
But yeah, no, I loved how Kevin had described it as his own Planet Hollywood, because that was also a place I loved growing up and going to, especially the one that was in New York for a very brief period of time.
Yeah,
So
I've
I've always appreciated this place, and it's even though it's a small part, I love being a part of it in some way, shape, or form.
Much bigger than you think.
Well, yeah, but that's another conversation for another day. But Mike, I think we're reaching the end of our show, man. Thank you again for another wonderful episode.
You got it.
Oh, do we have any more future events to plug before we go?
Oh, God, yes, we do. June 11th is going to be Marty Grabstein, the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog. We also have Chris Campana, and I'm going to show you something afterwards that he just did. He's going to be June 25th. Yes, that's a Saturday. Both of them, 12 to 5. Oh. Then our upcoming, we've got Richard David from Cult of Dracula. He'll be here October 1st. And October 30th, I believe, is Alton Simpson, who does Vampires of New Jersey. Ooh. And then Mike McCone, once he gets settled, he's going to tell me when he's going to come in July. Mike McCone from Marvel variant covers, Marvel's The Exiles, and Justice League from DC. He did Justice League Quarterly.
Oh, okay.
So he's like a superstar artist.
Oh, nice. So we got
a really nice guy.
We got a bunch of cool people coming in.
We sure do. So.
I am personally excited for Marty. I can't freaking wait for that one.
That'll be awesome. That's
going to be amazing. Also, we're looking for some original music for our show. So if you have a piece that you want to submit as the theme song, if you're a musician and want to send us some stuff, I literally just made an email for this show. It is live from the secret stash at gmail.com. So send us what you got, and we'll call it a day from there. Mike, thank you. Wonderful episode as always.
You got it, buddy.
It's my pleasure.
Folks, thanks so much, and come by next week where we are going to be talk nerdy.
Oh, for sure. Mike, see you next week.